I first heard about the Fulbright program from a colleague who was a Fulbright fellow.
I remember the committee, the selection committee. I came to the American Embassy in Tel Aviv, and there were people who examined me, tested what I want to do.
I think that they were looking for the brightest, but at the same time they were looking for something additional.
I have a very close friend who was also going to be on sabbatical, and he encouraged me to take what I had learned on the U.S.-Mexico border and to come and learn some things in the Middle East.
It's like going to the top place in the world in your field. You can meet or hear the top leaders of science in the world in the United States.
It's kind of this academic milestone, I think, to get a Fulbright. And you always see it on someone's CV and think, oh, that's exciting.
When I got the first positive answer from the Fulbright, so I said, we are going to do it. We are going to go to the United States.
Many faces, many lives, all of them touched by a unique educational opportunity. These are their stories.
In the United States, when you come and you say you are a Fulbright scholar, it's immediately giving an impression you had been chosen, you had been selected, you must have something that you had proved. I never believed it. I was always telling, hey, I'm from Katznelson 7. It's where my parents lived, and I'm here at Harvard. And at the beginning, you are daydreaming. You cannot start counting all the effects that Harvard had had on my life. It is on my daily routine and on my professional life, in my public service duties that I had made. How to teach, for example. I was a teacher, I taught contract law in Tel Aviv University and in the Interdisciplinary Center in Herzliya. I was a completely different teacher due to the fact that I had so many good examples of how you teach. It was a time that I will never forget. It was a time of huge intellectual rewards. We were on the top of the world. What do you mean?
If you sat back in the United States and read the papers, you would believe that water was possibly a cause for the next war. Where in reality, water, or more aptly stated, scarcity of water, is an area for peace. I've learned that you have to kind of test your preconceived ideas with the reality check of what's going on the ground. And Fulbright literally doesn't provide any roadblocks or any go signs. They just allow you there to use their name and travel freely. I think that when I go back to the States and I reflect and have time to write about my experience, a lot of how I approach subjects will be different.
My goal is to improve my science, to bring new technologies to my science. I want to change in my area the way people think and to improve the way people manage plant diseases. And I know that for you, plant disease means that you have a pot in your home and the plant dies, so you buy another one. Just imagine that just in the United States, the price of pesticides per year is $35 billion. So it's a very big business. It was November '68 when I got the Fulbright scholarship, and I went for postdoctorate studies in McCard Laboratory in the University of Wisconsin in Madison. I was introduced to a new field of molecular biology, which was very in the cutting edge of science at that time. I wouldn't say that there is difference between American or Israeli or European. I mean, scientists are scientists all over. But when people come from different countries with different cultures and different way of thinking about scientific problems, it's very fruitful.
I was born in Haifa in a neighborhood called Wadi Nisnas. It's a well-known neighborhood because it's a disadvantaged neighborhood. University of Chicago is one of the leading universities in our field. When I went to Chapin Hall Center for Children, they have many fellows before me that they were Jewish from Israel, and I was the first person that I am Arab, Israeli Arab. Being there, it gave them and me the opportunity to show them the other side of Israel, the other people in Israel. It gave me also the opportunity to meet Arabs from other countries, even from Palestine, that I don't have the opportunity to meet them.
Children's Hospital is an entity that is absolutely different from any other hospital. The idea came during my period as a Fulbright grantee in the United States. I was exposed to the building of the Schneider Children's Medical Center in Long Island, New York. I went to see the place. I studied the method of how they did their fundraising. Every single thing that you see, including special colors on the walls, special windows, special equipment, all those are American ways of delivery of health care that were implemented here.
I went to CUNY, the City University of New York. I worked and studied there in the Graduate Center. Less than a week before I arrived to America, the twins collapsed. Less than a week. Everybody was very busy dealing with trauma and traumatic reactions and post-traumatic reactions. So I was in a very, very interesting environment to study what I was interested in anyhow. I think that the Fulbright experience has affected or impacted my work in direct and indirect ways. I met with people. I made some great relationships with colleagues. One of the best lessons or the greatest lessons that I got through the Fulbright experiences was learning to listen.
I'm 30 years old, and I got interested in archaeology when I was maybe 14, 15, and I started working here in Caesarea when I was 20. It's very exciting to be part of the process of looking into the past and seeing in how many ways things have changed, and in many ways how things are exactly the same as they've always been. Here at the University of Haifa in the Institute of Maritime Studies, the quality of research I found to be very interesting. The program in Israel is one of the most hands-on, active programs in the world today. The beauty of the Fulbright is that it allows a person to have academic freedom, to have research freedom. The relationships that develop are very strong, and those are things that are going to continue through my academic career.
I received the Fulbright Fellowship in 1981 when I graduated the Technion. I did my PhD here. And it was my first ever fellowship. I was already accepted at the MIT. And MIT at the mid-60s decided to build a department of biology, and in no time it became the department in the world. Being a postdoc at that particular laboratory, at that particular department, was the dream and still should be the dream of every scientist in the world. In Boston, which is a highly academic city with many universities, Harvard, Tufts, Boston University, there were many Fulbright Fellows of all disciplines and from all countries, which gives you a feeling that you are part of an international community that is researching not only biology, but also political sciences, history, archaeology, literature. Here you are collaborating on something which is really deep, on a value. For myself, it was a wonderful experience.
You start with opening a new bank account, getting a driver's license. Everything you start from scratch.
I went with my family, my husband and my 3 kids.
I went to Chicago with my 11-month daughter.
Another one was born in the United States.
We had a huge station wagon.
We had 2 old bicycles.
Then we traveled all over cross country.
The kids saw all the great museums of Manhattan,
I like the sales in Chicago.
and we of course went to Disney World.
I remember my wife came back from the supermarket crying because it took her more than 2 hours to do the shopping until she could choose the toothpaste. It was already a 15 minutes process.
During my Fulbright, I've learned that Israel is a completely different place than I thought it was.
The reality of Israel, it's not so black and white and it's not so straightforward.
I've had a blast.
We had been Americanized.
You are exposed to the American society, to the American cultures, to the American landscape, to the American history.
It's the science, the society, the nature, the traveling. All that meant for me Fulbright.
We regard that year as the best year of our life.
I've learned one fantastic word, sababa. Fantastic.
Over the years, the United States Israel Educational Foundation has awarded more than 2,500 scholarships to people from both countries, people whose achievements have touched the lives of many others. Their road to leadership began with Fulbright.
I would always look for someone that has something additional, something different.
Somebody that's entrepreneurial and inquisitive.
A broad-minded scientist with very good background and very good knowledge. That's it.
One that is willing to be an ambassador.
There must be a seed of leadership.
The United States Israel Educational Foundation. For 50 years, for the time of your life.